This would be a backbreaker for Buffalo fans, and this would be the pedigree of championship teams.
There goes Hurts. Hurts to the end zone, and the Eagles have won it in overtime.
Since this moment, the Eagles have gone 1-5, scored less than 20 points per game, and collapsed from the NFC's number 1 seed to potential first-round exits. What happened? It's been no secret that the Eagles have been struggling since their November overtime win against the Bills. Over the last 6 games, the Eagles have won just 1, and lost their division lead and the chance at the number 1 seed in the process. The struggles have been on both sides of the ball, as the defense has allowed 30 points per game in that stretch, and the offense has only been scoring 18 in return. Plenty of scrutiny has fallen on the Eagles, both the players and the coaches, and they've been rightly challenged over their end-of-season collapse. The Eagles are fortunate, however. They still made the playoffs, and they have the chance to get a road win in Tampa Bay to reset their minds and right the ship. Ultimately, there are plenty of issues in Philly, but the problem that concerns me the most, and the problem that determines their playoff destiny, is going to be their struggles on third down. Third down is perhaps the most important down, as converting third downs keeps drives alive and increases your time of possession. As most important down, the best offenses should be able to convert at the highest rates, and the Eagles certainly did convert often over the season, placing third in the NFL with a 48% conversion rate, not to mention their strength on converting fourth downs with a yard to go. Despite the elite conversion rate, the Eagles haven't shown that effectiveness recently, with their issues becoming extremely apparent against the Giants in Week 18. The game wasn't meaningless either. The starters were in for the first half in an attempt to win the NFC East, but the Eagles starters converted just 1 of 6 third downs they faced, posting a 16.67% success rate, with the only conversion being a tush-push on 3rd and 1. That lack of success constantly gave the ball back to the Giants, who continuously scored when they got the ball to put the Eagles down 24-0 at the half against the starters. With the division on the line, the lights were just too bright, and the Eagles couldn't convert a single third down with more than a yard to go. The Giants are definitely an aggressive defense that enjoys third downs, but the Eagles should be able to power through a defense like the Giants, yet failed to score a point until the game was already over. So why are the Eagles struggling so much on the money down? The first third down the Eagles faced was a 3rd and 8. The Eagles dial up a simple beater just to gain enough yards and open up the field for some yards after catch, which generally could be called Jet Hank in a Shanahan coaching term. The key to this play is that it offers plenty of matchups with simple routes to allow their skilled receivers to actually go out and win, but also offers a flat to be the hot route just in case of pressure. The Giants intend to bring that pressure, showing a mug look and rolling into a cover 1. In their formation, the Giants show their hand that they're blitzing from the slot, since their safety is standing directly over the slot corner, who's pressed on the line of scrimmage. Hurts should notice the blitz look and check it, but instead drops back as if he has plenty of time, and instead of realizing what the Giants are throwing at him, he drops his eyes and evades the pressure, throwing the ball away. If Hurts had understood or even checked the blitz, he had Zacchaeus wide open in the flat for what would likely have been a first down. Instead, the Eagles now had to punt the ball, letting a fairly simple blitz throw off an entire drive. The second third down is the only conversion and requires no real analysis. The Eagles got a 3rd and 1 and went to Old Reliable, easily shoving their way across the line for the first down. The next third down the Eagles faced was a 3rd and 15, well behind the chains, but certainly doable for an offense of their caliber against the Giants. The Eagles dial up another simple short route concept meant to give their players room to work. The Giants bring the exact same blitz from a different look, since Hurts didn't even pick up the defensive back last time. The play worked well enough, taking advantage of the soft coverage by the Giants' DBs, but the play just left too many yards on the table, leaving a 4th and 3. They then failed the 4th, turning the ball over on downs. This play isn't as much an example of a struggling offense, but the result of a poor, continuously struggling and staying behind the chains before third down, leading to poor outcomes and even fewer conversions. The 4th third down, however, was the sign of a struggling group. Given the Giants' front screaming man coverage, the Eagles dial up a great man beater that can defeat the cover 1 the Giants are throwing at them. The play has plenty of great matchups for the Eagles to take advantage of. The tight end flat route has great outside leverage that keeps him open. The boundary side outside receiver is taking an outside stem on a go route to beat the corner with no safety help. The receiver in the slot is running a deeper crossing route that pairs really well with the shallow crosser from the other side of the field. The crossers are nearly guaranteed to win against man coverage, with both receivers having massive leverage advantages, and the free safety can only crash down to one of them, leaving the defense completely unstrung. The Giants even have a 6-man protection, and the chances of this play not gaining 6 yards seem very low before the snap. Again, Hurts just doesn't see the safety crash down to blitz before the snap and misses him on the blind side. Although Hurts should hopefully be able to catch the blitz before the snap, Jordan Mailata also doesn't catch him flying free, and the blitz works perfectly. Even if Hurts did see the blitz, however, he wouldn't have much to work with. Despite the schematic advantages of the play, the only two receivers to win their routes were the longest developing, the fade and the deep crosser. So Hurts couldn't have gotten rid of the ball even if he did know about the blitz. The Eagles, despite a great play call, just couldn't win against the Giants when it mattered the most. The 5th attempt at conversion was a 3rd and 20, again well behind the chains. The Eagles just opted to protect against Hurts to give him a deep fade and some smaller routes underneath. The Giants just play simple, soft coverage, and the play goes for 7 yards. Again, this play is more of a result of the problems of the Eagles' offense than an example of it, as 3rd and 20 is quite impossible to convert when your offense is barely treading water. Again, the Eagles fell short on 3rd down due to a lack of productivity and explosiveness, which has been a great part of their success when they're thriving. And finally, the last 3rd down failure was the worst of them all and sealed the game for the Eagles. On 3rd and 6, the Eagles opt to run a play that offers a check down to the tight end, a single high safety beater to the left, and a cover 2 and 4 beater to the right. The Giants do indeed roll into a cover 3 look, meaning that Hurts has a few options, but locks in on the boundary side fade. The pressure doesn't really impact the read, only the follow through on the throw, and Hurts throws into double coverage for Xavier McKinney to make a phenomenal interception. The aggression is admirable, as a chunk play on 3rd down could shock the Eagles back out of their funk, but throwing a slow Julio Jones into double coverage just doesn't make sense. Sure, he's Julio Jones, but you can tell so early that he never even had a chance to catch this ball, regardless of skill level. Making irrational decisions in the hope to shock the offense is just hero ball, and a turnover on 3rd down just destroys any momentum the Eagles build. Even though the protection stood up, Hurts rushed himself because of constant blitzing from the Giants, and ruined himself into a terrible read. 1 for 6. Those 5 failures weren't pretty, nor the result of a great pass breakup or something that's out of the offense's control. How can the Eagles last in the playoffs without confidence in their offense on the money downs? It comes down to finding their identity. The Eagles are playing nervous, continuously running themselves into problems and into bad situations behind the chains. Did you notice the distance on each of the 3rd downs we broke down? Only one was a 3rd and short, and they converted it. So, in matching up with the Bucs, the Eagles put themselves in a good position to get back to where they should be. The Buccaneers allow 6.4 net yards per pass attempt, which is 25th in the NFL, but only allow 3.8 rushing yards per attempt. The Tampa Bay secondary is certainly beatable, and the Eagles have the weapons to do so. They boast a quarterback with the 4th highest AAV in the league. Their wide receiver is also number 4 in AAV, and yet when it matters most, they can't connect. The Eagles need to simplify the game. They are, on paper, a much better team than the Buccaneers. So play like it. When you're backed into a 3rd and 6, let A.J. Brown go win a one-on-one matchup. Let Jalen Hurts take over and run this offense. Once they do that, the Eagles are in a much better shape to contend, and might even be able to win some playoff games this season. The Eagles' new problem comes in the form of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs are red hot and have only allowed 33.3% success rate on 3rd down over the last 3 games. Those games were against some middling teams, the Jaguars, Saints, and Panthers, but even if they choose to play that level, they're going to be a scary defense and a perfect match for the struggling Eagles. If the Bucs defense can continue to play well, pressure is going to lie on Jalen Hurts to convert 3rd downs early and build a lead. Here's why. Each failed 3rd down is a new possession for the Buccaneers. Not only will the Eagles' defense get tired from being on the field so long, but the Buccaneers' blueprint to win relies on ball control. If Tampa can keep the ball from the Eagles, they can run the ball and play their efficient, low-explosion football in the 2nd round. The more the Eagles fail on third down, the more often the Buccaneers can chip away at them. Once the Eagles fall multiple scores behind, their frustrations from the past 6 weeks might not allow them to come back, ending the Eagles season early at the hands of Baker Mayfield of all people. If the Eagles come out guns blazing and dominate the first half, it's really hard to imagine Tampa Bay coming out on top. But the Eagles haven't done that in 6 weeks, so how can we expect them to do it when it matters the most? If the Eagles lose on Monday, go look at their third down success rate, and you can probably paint the entire picture from just that one statistic. Even if they do find themselves again, the Eagles are looking at a tough divisional round, and they need to remember their dominance on third downs to make sure that they can actually contend against some of the top teams in the NFL.